Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and I appreciate the work and effort that you went to on this report. I hope that there's going to be a similar analysis for the traditional 2-year and 4-year colleges and university, and fill in some of the gaps of the available data on this. I think it might be enlightening to us on a lot of the taxpayer dollars that are being spent, and will help to answer more of the questions that are raised by those charts. Today's hearing on for-profit institutions of higher education does come at an important time. These schools are increasingly reaching more and more Americans who are not served by traditional higher education. They are an essential part of our efforts to provide every American with the skills necessary to be a valuable part of the workforce. As Secretary Duncan recently said, quote, "Let me be crystal clear. For-profit institutions play a vital role in training young people and adults for jobs. They are critical to helping America meet the President's 2020 goal. They are helping us to meet an ever-increasing demand for skills that public institutions cannot always meet," end quote. To understand the for-profit sector, we must first get a better understanding of the variety of institutions in it and the diversity of the students they serve. As our witness will demonstrate, many of the for-profit schools resemble the traditional 4- and 2-year colleges where students receive associate's, bachelor's, and master's degrees in fields such as business, nursing, and engineering. Many others are less familiar to us, but provide the educated and skilled workforce that we rely on today. Among these are the auto mechanic, truck driving, and beauty schools. Many more provide courses online, providing working adults in rural communities access to college credit they once did not have because of the time constraints or distances they would have had to travel. In general, the students at each of these schools tend to be older, lower income, and more likely to be minorities. Many have already spent years in the workforce and returned to school in order to change careers. Others seek to improve their skills in order to advance in their current jobs, and as often the case in today's economy, many have been laid off and are looking to gain skills that will make them more attractive to employers. Thousands of students have chosen for-profit schools because they offer the flexibility in scheduling and training not readily available at traditional institutions of higher education. Furthermore, these institutions provide thousands of students with a valuable education that lead to productive and rewarding careers. Unfortunately, as in other industries, there are bad actors. As we all have undoubtedly read and will hear about in the Inspector General's testimony, some for-profit schools have attempted to game the system in order to gain access to more federal dollars, and these schools have recruited at homeless shelters, misrepresented the quality of the education their students receive, and made unrealistic promises of high-paying jobs upon completion. Such actions are simply unacceptable, and I applaud Secretary Duncan's commitment to ending this kind of behavior. However, in combating this behavior, it's essential that we use a scalpel and not a machete. Whatever protections are put in place must eliminate bad actors and ensure that we do not unintentionally harm students in legitimate programs. Finally, I want to express my disappointment that we did not have the opportunity to work together in preparing this hearing. Over the last several years, the HELP Committee has had a successful history of bipartisan cooperation that's made it one of the most productive committees in the Senate, despite the often divergent views of its members. Mr. Chairman, when Senator Alexander and I wrote to you asking for hearings on the Department of Education's proposed regulations, it was our sincere hope that we would work together in the spirit of bipartisan tradition. That's not the case with this hearing, and I'm concerned that this hearing will not provide members with a full and objective understanding of the issues facing the for-profit sector. I'm also concerned that it might set a precedent for future hearings on this issue and others before the committee. Therefore, I would like to request that you commit to working together on future hearings that you hold on this issue. And doing so will ensure that members of this committee have a full understanding of all the issues so that our nation's students are well served and quality programs are available to meet their needs. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.